Hey guys, what is up? This is Cody or xCodeh. How's it going today? On today's video, I got something a little bit more special than what I usually do. I'm going to tell you a life story, but I'm also going to make a smoking video, so it's almost like a 2-for-1 special. Now, this isn't a wake and bake because it's currently midnight right now, but it doesn't mean can't have an awesome smoke sesh. So, without further ado, I got this Tag, the 14-inch, I believe it's 14-inch. The thick-ass glass straight shot that I had in yesterday's review. If you guys are interested in that entire video, there'll be a link in the description. But I have a life story that's very relevant to this. It's not just me hitting a bong telling a story about something else. It's a story about me buying a bong, and one of the first times I actually did. And it was one of the most funny stories on my entire YouTube channel. But before we get to that, so I remember this day specifically because I had like $250, and I don't remember how I got the money, but I had $250. I think it was either from like Christmas presents or doing something. But I remember specifically that I wanted to go to a head shop and I wanted to buy like a bong. I've always wanted this bong because I remember back when I was like 13, like a freshman, I saw my friend who had this really nice roar, this really straight shot, or it was either a straight shot or a beaker, just a really nice roar that was like 200 bucks. So I had this image in my head that for this entire time that I wanted to get like a bong around the same price. It was like my goal almost to get to that point, because back when I was a noob, I was smoking out of tin cans. I didn't know how to roll joints. It was just a bad time. So when I finally accumulated enough money, and I found a friend that was willing to bring me to a head shop, I was so happy. Oh, it was awesome. It was one of the first times I'd ever been to that shop. Actually, it was the first time I'd ever been to the shop, so I was really nervous because I had never really gone in and bought something like that cool in like a head shop that was really cool. I mean, the only head shop that's actually near me is the owners just don't really care. Like, I used to buy cigarettes when I was 14 there. I could just go in and buy glass and stuff too. But I remember after a long car ride, we finally got there, and when we went inside, I had the money and I gave it to the person who was gonna pay, and I was just like standing there looking around, kind of nervous. I don't know why I was nervous. I was just a young kid. Everybody else was old, and the people at the register were kind of looking at me weird because I was like, I looked like a kid. And on top of it, we were smoking blunts in the car, so I was nice and fucking stoned out of it. I was like Bubbles when he gets nervous high. Like when he goes into the supermarket, he's like exposing Ricky and Julian for their meat stealing operation. That episode was fucking hilarious. So it was actually kind of cool because I actually got to like actually feel the bong and like pick it out. I was actually talking with one of the owners, or one of the workers there, I should say, and it was actually kind of cool because as soon as I was like talking to them, they kind of assumed I was 18, but one of them definitely knew I wasn't. I'll tell you that because when we actually ended up paying for it, I remember I looked at like 2 or 3 bongs, but I ended up with, I believe this was the truth. This was the time that I bought the, this is definitely it because I remember the big box. This was the truth. It was the 22-inch SB straight shot bong. If you guys have heard me say we named this one bong the truth, it's because bitches can't handle the truth. And this is the same pipe. This is the same bong that I'm talking about. This is when I bought it. And I remember I picked it out and I went to the cash register, and I remember the lady there, and I know she knew I was under 18 because I was picking it out. But as soon as we got there to pay, she was like, alright, so who's gonna pay for this? And I was just sitting there like, oh yeah, she's going to, and I handed her the money, or maybe I handed her the money before, I don't really remember. They pack it up in this box, and I'm just so happy. I got this Rasta bowl piece. Called it a bowl piece again. It's a slide. I got a Rasta slide that went along with it. It was really cool. I think it was like 40 bucks or something. In total, I think I spent around like 180. Overpriced, but it was like name brand glass, so it was kind of worth it in my opinion. 22 inches, man. It was, this is, I think, 18 or 14, so it was probably like this much bigger. It was absurd. It was actually absurd. I think it was like 2 inches bigger than the sextuple honeycomb thick-ass glass bong that I've used in a couple of videos that has like the 6 perks in it. And we're driving back to my buddy's house, and I get this giant box in my lap, and I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy because I finally got it, man. It was like a goal achieved. So we get back to my friend's house. My friends are so excited that I get this pipe because I take it out of the box, and it's this fucking huge-ass bong, and they're like, oh shit. I remember I packed like a whole hit for everybody there. It was like 3 people there, but I remember I packed like a hefty hit for everybody. I was a little nervous to hit this thing because it was like one of the biggest bongs I'd ever hit. And it fucking made me cough so much the first time. I remember that. But this is where the story really begins, alright? Buying the bong wasn't even that cool. But I remember after we all hit it, like the rotation was over, my friend had it in his hand. And he was just kind of sitting there with it like this. We were watching Netflix. But he was like, bro, why don't we put the bong in the chest while we're not here? So if someone comes down here, like his parents, they wouldn't like take it or get mad or something. Because I couldn't have it at my house at that point. Because it was like a fucking bong this big. And I'm like, alright, I guess, why not? So he proceeds to open this chest, put the bong in there, puts like a blanket in there actually. Make sure it's not just like fucking bong in a chest. He puts a blanket down. Got bong water in my mouth. He proceeds to take the bong and he put it in there after he put the blanket. And he closes it. He closes the clamps. And then when he closes the clamps, I hear it click. And I'm like, alright, dude, you didn't just do that. I thought he's pranking me. You know, April Fool's. Just a fucking prank, bro. There's a camera over there, right? Right? No. No. He's just like, dude, it's fine. It never even locks. The lock doesn't even work. He tries to open it. It doesn't open. I start to panic. I literally... This is one of the only times I can ever tell you that I actually almost cried over something to do with weed. And it's only because I like saved up for so long. Like I remember I did something that took so long and it was like a goal of mine to get this thing. And I finally got it. We smoked out of it once. And this motherfucker locks it in a chest. He locked it in a chest. And this thing, it was like a pirate chest, man. Like... It looked like the kind of chest you needed a sledgehammer. Like we were seriously considering grabbing like a sledgehammer or like a hammer and a fucking screwdriver and just bashing the thing open. And it actually came to that. I'm not kidding. It actually came to that. My buddy had to bash the lock off the chest to get this bong out because we were sitting there for 20 minutes and I literally had one tear. Which it was just one. Alright? Maybe two. I was like laughing at the same time though. It was kind of like hysterical. Once we got it out, I was still a little mad, but as soon as we smoked out of it again, I thought it was the funniest thing in the world, because it really was. Honestly, I'll never forget this, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this. So yeah, guys, that was the story of when my friend locked the bong that I worked very hard to get in a chest, but it turned out all good. We're all good in the end. Everybody got baked. Everybody was happy. It's a damn shame the thing's broken now. But it's just the fucking way she goes. Drop a like on the video if you guys enjoyed. Stay high, stay lifted. Subscribe for more content. I gotta say it more. Peace.